Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another episode here on the G's Footage channel.
Hey guys, this is G, the editor of G's Footage. So as some of you guys may have already noticed, this video was already up, but we decided to take it down and go straight to the point. We feel it may be counterproductive for our viewers' attention. As you guys can see here in this quick time-lapse video, Jose got a little sidetracked on missing parts and derailed from the objective on how to install a harmonic balancer. But nevertheless, guys, here goes the videos. We're gonna go straight to the point on how to install this harmonic balancer crank pulley. And like I said, sorry for bringing the video down. And yeah, guys, enjoy the video.
Okay, so when installing a harmonic balancer, the first thing you're going to want to do is apply some. We'll make sure the surface is clean, and I just noticed in true G's Footage fashion, totally unprepared and rehearsed, that we have silicone all over it. So let me go ahead and clean off the silicone, because you want a really clean surface, right? So you're gonna have a really clean surface, and then you're gonna put some motor oil. I don't want to set this thing nowhere near the top of my car, the infamous boogieman. Okay, so once you have cleaned it, what you're going to want to do is you're going to notice that it has a little guide. And that little guide, a little key, needs to fit on the crank, or else you will never get it in there. And if you do, that means you will never get it out, because you wedged it in between that little keyhole. And I'll show you what the little keyhole looks like right now. Yeah, this little hole here, I'll zoom in here for you guys. That little keyhole needs to match that guide. See that guide right there? That little keyhole needs to go over that little slot. Okay. So before you do that, you're gonna grab some regular motor oil. Just put it over, just like that. And you're gonna want to do the same thing to the pulley. So that's the little keyhole you have to match with that little guide. And you put some oil. Put this here. Put a good amount of oil in there, motor oil. Make sure it's nice and clean in there, like I mentioned. Regular motor oil, 530, 1030, whatever. So yeah, let me. I only have one camera today, so let's relocate that camera. The struggle is real. So once you put the harmonic balancer over the crank and you matched it with the key guide, you're gonna need a harmonic balancer installation tool, right? Underdrive pulley installation tool. What I use, it's a homemade harmonic balancer tool, and I got this off ls1tech.com many moons ago. A forum member was making these, and it's basically an ARP rod with a little bearing and a washer, and basically this thing will screw into your crank. You would tie it up pretty tight, pretty snug in there, get it enough, as much thread as you can, because you want a good bite, and you don't want to, put a little bit and then strip the. So let's go ahead and screw this into the crank, and then basically once we have this stud all the way in, we'll spin this, forcing the harmonic balancer safely down into the crank, setting it evenly. So yeah, some people also they kind of warm them up a little bit to make them warm up the pulleys to make them a little bit expand, because when hot metal gets hot, it kind of opens up a little bit. That'll help you get it in there too. I don't think we need to be honest. If so, I'll probably use my hair dryer, the purple one we had here. But yeah, and one more thing I forgot to mention. I don't know if you guys remember on the last video where we locked the flywheel. the flywheel locking tool, it's a must. You guys gotta get one. I don't recommend you guys going down there with a screwdriver and a buddy and hold the flywheel. And I'm guilty. We've done that long back in the day, but I don't know. The older I get, you side with safety. So get yourself a flywheel locking tool and the proper harmonic balancer, and you should be able to do this job by yourself. I don't have my 1/2" torque wrench to torque the bolt that we need to, so I'm gonna have to borrow that from my brother, and we'll probably show that step later on. But so far I just want to show you how to install the pulley. Get that puppy in there pretty good, okay? Once you have it in there pretty good, and remember our flywheel is locked. So once you get it locked in there, you simply turn the inner nut. This is the one with the bearing, and you'll see this pulley is gonna go in like butter. Hopefully you guys got a good view there. Looks like we're almost getting there. We basically have to align this pulley to this one, and I'm being 100% honest with you guys when I'll tell you this thing is effortlessly going in. Now, it got a little hard, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back up this guy a little bit and just make sure this one's really tight. Yep. Before we give it a really good snugs. Okay, so that's that. That looks about right. So let's go ahead and pull it out. Ta-da! This tool is amazing. Super cool tool. Okay, so once you have fully seated your harmonic balancer using the appropriate tools, you're going to want to grab the old bolt that you took off, the original one. And remember, these bolts are torque to yield, so meaning once you torque them once, they get stretched and they're no good. You got to throw them away. But per GM specifications, per the Magnuson instructions, they want you to use the old bolt, install it, and torque it to 240 foot-pounds. And this is going to ensure that the harmonic balancer is properly seated. So let's go ahead and do that. For that job, we're going to need a 1/2" torque wrench that does foot-pounds and a 24mm socket. So I'll show that. All right, guys. My dash showed up. Oh man, I was trying to get him on camera. Get out of the camera, bro. I'm eating. Okay, so I have the old bolt here. I'm gonna put it to the snug it by hand, right? So once you have snug it by hand, you grab your torque wrench and you set it to 240 foot-pounds, right? And then you tie it. Okay, and when you use a torque wrench, you want to do nice smooth sweeps. And it's actually really hard. Okay, so once you get it to beep, you're at your desired foot-pounds. That means that the harmonic balancer is seated to where it needs to be. You take it off and you install the new bolt. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the old bolts off. Okay. so now this bolt's officially trashed. So we're gonna use a ARP bolt, which are a lot stronger and they are reusable, which is a pretty cool thing. So we're using part number 2342504. This is the one that came with well, I'm sorry, we're not gonna be using it because well, I don't know yet, but right now I had done a little test and I checked the old bolt that we took off with the new bolt that came in our kit, and the new bolt, the ARP, is significantly longer. So I screwed it on right now and it bottomed out and it had stayed. So that means that this bolt is too long. So I did a little bit of researching on the forums, and it looks like there's two different part numbers, one for a dry sump and one for a wet sump. So I'm gonna go ahead and order the proper bolt and finish up torquing it. But basically that's how you install a harmonic balancer. You use your flywheel locking tool to lock the flywheel, you use your installation tool to seat the pulley, and then you use the old bolt to torque it to 240 foot-pounds. And once it's properly seated, you replace you replace the old bolt with a new ARP bolt, which is basically reusable, and you torque it to one torque spec, or you can use an OEM bolt that requires torquing and a stretch. So we'll try to touch base again if I could get one. If not, that wraps this video up, guys. Okay guys, so today is another day, and last time we talked I was getting ready to install the harmonic balancer bolt, the new harmonic balancer bolt, onto the crank to secure the harmonic balancer. And I was going to install the brand new ARP bolt that came in my kit, which obviously I bought used, and this part number is 2342504, and it's marketed for SBC, LS7, and Gen 5 LT1. So in theory, this bolt should have fit my car. Now, when I checked it by hand, because I noticed that the OEM bolt was significantly shorter, as you guys can see here, kind of made me like worry about it. So I tested it by hand. So I put it in there, put it by hand, and then I noticed that it will bottom out before it could actually secure the harmonic balancer. So yeah, so it's not the right one. Although it says here that it is. I went to the store today and I bought a new ARP bolt, and this one is part number 2342503. And this balancer bolt is marketed for LS1, LS6, 5.7, and 6.0, so LS series engine. And this one is actually about dead on with our OEM bolt, which is about 4 inches. Which is 4 inches. So this bolt is 4 1/4 without the washer, but it comes with a washer, so with the washer it's 4 inches. So this is a bolt that I think is gonna fit this car. So let me let's open it up and let's try it out. Okay, so as you can see, with the spacer, it's about dead on to an OEM bolt. The beautiful thing about the ARP bolts is that you don't have to stretch the bolt. So you can basically just torque it to spec and you're done. And especially if you have a flywheel lockout tool, you just lock your flywheel, torque it to spec, and you're done. So let's get to it. Per the instructions, it says lubricate the threads of the bolt, the underhead of the bolt, and the front face of the balancer where the washer contacts the balancer. And then torque the bolt to 235 foot-pounds. So 235 foot-pounds. Okay, so you're going to want to lubricate the threads. Just like that. Seems like I was a little bit generous, but what the hell. This bolt fits really good. And yep, never bottoms out. Alright, so let's go ahead and torque it. Okay, let's go ahead and set our torque wrench to 235 foot-pounds. Okay, so here goes nothing. Alright guys, so that's how you install the harmonic balancer bolt. Nevertheless guys, this video is coming to an end, and we'll catch you guys in the next video where we continue with this build.